Fair Day 2. We're live at the NECA booth. We came here yesterday morning, and we had an appointment for today specifically to come and get a guided tour and take a look at all the cool stuff and actually hear the information about it. And we're very lucky today to have Summer with us, joining us. Summer joined us, I believe, 2 years ago, in fact, did a tour with us. She was great, and we expect no less from her this year. Pressure's on. No pressure. So we're going to wait just about another few seconds. We'll get started. Just let you guys all come on in. And thanks for joining us today. We're going to get started momentarily. I see some folks are piling in. So if you guys have any questions while we're doing this, go ahead and ask us. We're going to be starting over here. We will, of course, work our way down all the action figures. And, of course, it got more crowded as soon as we started filming. That's usually how it goes.
No, that's Isaac's Law, right? All right.
Let's go ahead. Let's get started here. We're going to start things off with all of the chips from NECA.
So a lot of you know that we did buy this company last year, and we've kind of expanded them into doing more licensed figures. So many of the things that you're seeing right now is stuff that's already on the market. You know, we have our Golden Girls Chia Pets, which have done extraordinarily well. Bob Ross, everybody loves, and a lot of other really popular licenses. But brand new for this show, you're seeing they won't be formally announced until the celebration in April, but we did acquire the Star Wars license specifically for the Chia Pet and Clapper lines. So we'll have a Yoda and a Chewbacca Chia Pet coming very soon. The official press release for that will be going out, like I said, in April, but you could get a little sneak peek of them here right now.
And I also see you guys have E.T. and Karate Kid. Is that also new this year, Toy Fair?
Yes, actually, those two are. E.T.'s been in the works for a while, Karate Kid also as well. Fun fact on the Karate Kid figure, when we originally sculpted that, actually, we did the paint on his bandana in a kind of faded black, but the licensor came back to us and said, no, it's actually a very dark navy. That is a super nerd point, so any of you who are falling asleep right now, just kind of poke yourself back awake.
Wake up, you guys. It's Karate Kid. And Gabe's asking for NECA Cinemachines. I think, are there any NECA Cinemachines this year?
We are not showing any new Cinemachines right now, no.
Okay, so will there be plans for any in the future still? Is that line still going?
The line, sort of petered, the sales on it sort of petered out towards the end, so we did have other Cinemachines kind of sculpted and molded and, you know, ready to go, but I'm not sure we're going to be continuing that with that line. We'll have to see.
Okay, so there you go, guys. I guess let's go ahead and move on down to, let's see, well, where should we go next, Summer?
What you're seeing right now are kind of evergreen properties, so we can, you know, those will be here always and forever. So we can go into the next corner here where you'll see a lot of the new clothes action figures.
All right, here we go. And yeah, so we put the story up on Nerd News today, and this was one of our most viewed posts rather of that day, and still getting a lot of hits. The Karate Kid stuff, and wow, this stuff is really, really great looking, gotta say.
Yeah, both the assortment and the 2-pack we did reveal previously, but we wanted to put these on display really to show some of the added accessories that come with them, like the mat, the little figure-sized poster, the trophy, which I'm not sure we're going to give extra hands to him so that he's able to present the trophy to Ralph Macchio himself, but we'll see. This is also the first time we're showing off the fully painted Daniel from the assortment. These are coming later this year, and we're super excited about them.
Yeah, let me just show you guys the other two over here as well, Mr. Miyagi and training Daniel-san. If you can catch a fly with those chopsticks, you'll have good luck forever. It's true. And here's our good buddies at Cobra Kai in the Halloween costume. And personally for me, being the formerly known as the Fight Nerd, really great seeing Bob Wall in a toy. That's Bob Wall, folks. If you ever watch Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee's famous 1973 movie, that's the guy who gets his nuts broken. Anyway, what should we look at next?
We have a new Bob Ross action figure coming. Everyone knows Bob Ross, everyone loves Bob Ross. I think I can leave it there. If you haven't seen one of his shows and partially fallen asleep to it, you're really not living life to its fullest.
I wonder which yellow he's using. Is that phthalo yellow or cadmium yellow?
I think we're going to give him both.
Any chance Bob Ross might come with any of his furry friends as an accessory?
Probably not in this pack, but we do encourage people to maybe paint their own tiny little painting and put it next to his so they can even paint along at home with the figure.
That sounds very fun. And right next to that, thank you for being a friend.
We have shown the Golden Girls figures off previously at San Diego, but we did get a lot of fan feedback saying these figures are awesome, but the clothes could be tailored a little better. So we went back and we retailored the clothing just to be a little bit more natural looking. It's a little tough to make, fabrics hang the same way as they do on a person on a figure, but we're getting there.
And of course, there is the cheesecake. It's missing a slice. I don't know who ate it, and I'm not going to ask because those are some vicious Golden Girls. And Trinary asking about Godzilla stuff. We haven't gotten there yet. Godzilla's going to be probably close to the end of the tour, so stay with us. We're going to get to that soon.
A lot of Godzilla.
We are. But right now, we're looking at the Goonies figures, and are these also new for Toy Fair?
Yes, those are brand new for Toy Fair. We're super excited to do these. Sloth and Chunk, perhaps the two most recognizable and beloved characters from that movie. The real underdogs. And recognizable instantly. That's going to come as a 2-pack, and we've also given that set a movie-accurate David. So things that happened to him in the movie are reflected on the
Very, very cool. And down here we have a few more of the cloth figures. We have a bunch of the musical licenses and our good friend Ace Ventura. But let's start us down here with Megadeth.
Yes. So we had previously shown the Peace Sells Megadeth figure, and that is really painted to look just like the album. We have a tease next to him for the future of the Megadeth line, so more of those are definitely coming. Next to him, you'll see an Anthrax Scott Ian figure, which we did for him to sell as a website exclusive, so you can get that on his website. We've had actually a lot of musicians approach us about, partnerships like this.
And then right next to that, we've got Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. And wow, I just got to show that face, because that face right there is worth the money. Buy the toy just because you get that Jim Carrey head. And that one. I mean, really, wow. It's so much added value for Jim Carrey. All right,
Yes, and he even comes with some of his little animal buddies. Don't tell his landlord.
All right, very cool. Now we got a question from Tac Tac Customs.
We rarely say hard no to anything. It's more of an issue of, does it make sense in our schedule now? Does it make sense in terms of what other companies are putting out at the moment? And can we easily get the likeness rights?
And those guys are okay. Moving on. Okay, yeah. Down here, I was just wondering about the Iron Maiden and the Weird Al. Those are already out, so if you guys want to see those, well, buy them. Hurry up and just buy them. All right, we're gonna head over here now to Aliens, and the camera's gonna shake for a minute just because I'm gonna switch hands with my setup because my right hand is falling asleep. All right, we're here now looking at the Predator stuff from the most recent Predator movie, and the Alien license has always been on a shelf. But let's start up top with the Predator figures.
Right. So this, as many of you know who've seen the movie, these two figures, the Emissary Predators, were cut out of the movie at the last minute. They went through a lot of extensive editing and cutting at the last minute. And so Fox really does a solid in letting us release these figures, even though they got cut from the final movie. It's not something that you see licensors do a lot. Emissary 2 is new for the show. Similar to Emissary 1, but different head sculpt, different paint deco.
Now, Alpha wants to know, we have a question from him, will the Alpha Predator be 7 or 8 inches or bigger than that?
That's going to be in the 7-inch scale. Obviously, he'll be bigger. The 7-inch scale Predators usually stand around 8 inches because they're larger than the average person.
Okay, and one other thing, we have a question from Trinary. Does the Neo-Morph mechanism work yet?
Not on this display prototype.
Okay. And Gabrielle about the head knockers, since you requested it, we'll get to that. That'll probably be a little bit towards the end, though. But all right, moving on now, we have a few more guys from the Predator.
We have the Ultimate Fugitive Lab Escape version now. This is based on the scene from the movie where he escapes from the government testing lab. This is going to come with an alternate head that you see in the front here that'll have LED light-up eyes. They don't work on this display prototype right now, but they will light up. He has, obviously you can see he looks a lot different than the other one. Less armor, different deco, different accessories. He's displayed next to the Assassin Predator, which we've already revealed, just to kind of drive home the size in that. A lot of people have asked us if the Assassins, if that's a 2-up on display. No, he's just really that big.
Godzilla asking, are the LED heads swappable with the original?
We haven't tested it on the, I'm assuming you were talking about the original Ultimate Fugitive release. They may be. We haven't tested it yet.
So you might want to try that for yourself if you haven't been getting it and letting us know. Here's a close-up of the alternate head for him, which is amazing looking. And hey, Tac Customs is giving you guys a shout-out. He's loving what you're doing with the Kenner-style Terminator things. And I do agree. I got all those myself. They're great.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Those are a labor of love. Anything Kenner-related is a labor of love because most of the people in the NECA office actually still have all of their original Kenner toys from when they were kids. Whenever we need reference for a figure, someone will bring in their Kenner figures and they'll be like, no, the Kenner one did it like this, so you should make it like that in the tribute version, just to be sure.
All right, let's move on down now to that Alpha Predator, the enormous 100th edition figure.
It's hard to believe that we've actually almost done 100 different Predator action figures, but it's true. So this is a sneak peek at what's going to be coming. What's on display right now is a 2-up. So that's how all figures really are sculpted originally at around 12 inches, and they can be shrunk down or scaled up depending on if we want to make a release date or additional accessories, etc. But we wanted to give fans a look at what's going to be.
It actually was this size because it's beautiful in this scale, gotta say.
I personally love all of the original prototype sculpts because they're so full of detail. And that always gets lost when you shrink down to a 7-inch, but you really want to pack the prototype with as many details as possible. That way, when you shrink it down to a 7-inch, you still have amazing detail. And when you go up to an 18-inch, you're not, looking sparse on the detail.
We have a question from Trinary 3. Any plans for Alien Covenant later this year?
That's a tough one to answer. But I'm not sure that we do have any plans for Covenant-specific stuff.
But there is plenty of other Alien stuff here. We're going to, in fact, see some more movie stuff in a moment. We're going to head down. But let's just take a look at the rest of what's on this shelf. So this is going to be a classic Neomorph and a classic-style Berserker. Yes, this is a new line that we're doing for these that's very reminiscent of all of the kind of 90s Kenner style lines from when we were all kids. So, those like 5 points of articulation action figures, that you played with in the back room, they got kicked underneath your bed, you threw them down the stairs, whatever. These are a new line. They're going to be a much lower price point as well. So it's going to be $12.99 for these. They're basic, they're stylized, they're fun, and they each have one cool thing. So on the Berserker Predator, it's a spring-loaded missile on a shoulder cannon. And for the Neomorph alien down there, if you move his tail, the inner mouth extends. And I think that's what a person was asking about earlier. Does that mechanism work yet to show? And not on the prototype right now. Looks very cool. And up here, this one I'm actually very excited for myself.
Yeah. Tease, tease, tease. The 40th anniversary of Alien is coming up, and we have a lot of amazing things planned. We'll be revealing more later this year, probably at Comic-Con, but we want to give everybody a little bit peek of what we've managed to be able to do behind the scenes.
And bonus points for you viewers out there if you know the name of who this actor is. All right, now, I guess let's head on down to the next shelf here. We got a lot of stuff to look at, folks. NECA's booth is always jam-packed. That's why when I first get here, I'm usually spend like an hour in the booth just taking pictures. So yeah, we got some stuff from the Predator and Alien 3.
Actually, I saw a question flash by. I'm going to answer. Someone asked, what happens to all the prototypes? We keep them all. And they're on shelves that line the walls of the sculpting building. They're just so many shelves lining the walls from ceiling to about 4 feet off the floor. And all the stuff is there. It's like walking into a kind of fantasy land, like if you were transported in The Wizard of Oz, except instead of going to Oz, you went to the heaven of action figures. That's kind of what it's like in there.
Sounds awesome. And Gapes, you are the winner. You win a Marvel No Prize. Sorry, buddy, but I'm glad that you know the name.
These have been previously released, but you can find them in stores now. The Target exclusive Thermal Vision is still out there. Initially, there was a lot of rush to stores and people grabbing it up, but we've made sure that everything is really well restocked.
And over here now, this is some new stuff. Alien 3 getting some love this year. A lot of love.
Yes. We've got a creature pack coming from that you can see right there. We have more action figures coming from it. Alien Resurrection isn't everyone's favorite Alien movie, but you have to admit that it had some extremely distinct and cool designs, which you can see right here.
This is the newborn alien. We'll get a nice look at that. Like, this is incredibly gross, and I love every part of it. Godzilla wants to know if the Resurrection Xenomorph will come with that stand.
Yes. Yes, it will. It would be practically impossible to make that stand without the stand. Even with trying to weight various pieces to be heavier or lighter to improve the balance, it's just not going to happen without a stand.
And this new Ripley as well from Resurrection. Amazing likeness. You guys got to see this thing in person to really appreciate it. But take my word for it, you're going to love this one when it comes out. Sorry. And moving on down, we're going to check out some of the Kenner figures as well.
Yes, this is the line that is almost ready for release right now, so you're going to be seeing this in stores very soon. This is another Kenner-inspired line of aliens. You know, we've got Space Marines Apone, we've got a Scorpion alien, which is just super awesome and creepy, and then we have the Snake alien, which has got the bendable tail.
Now, as a kid, I actually had these two. I think these were my very first Aliens figures I ever had, and I love them. You guys did such an amazing job. And don't be surprised if I walk out of these on Tuesday afternoon and I run like hell once I grab them. Guys to come out. We saw these last year. It's the Aliens vs. Predator arcade figures based on the Capcom beat 'em up from the 90s. In fact, we actually talked to Von Volkens last year who designed this diorama, and he did an amazing job with it. And yeah, so when can we actually see these? And yeah, just kind of walk us through what we're looking at right now.
All right. Well, the Predators from this set are actually in stores right now. The aliens are coming in about, I'd say maybe 6 weeks. And then the Dutch and Lynn set, very soon after that, maybe in 2 to 3 weeks after that. We had originally timed the release to be further out apart, but one of them got delayed, so they're going to end up being closer together.
Very, very cool. I love these figures. Cannot wait to own them. All right, let's why don't we take a walk around and look at the other side, I guess? Okay. We're going to walk on down for a minute, folks. TAC, no, they do not sell the dioramas. Those they bring with them to other conventions and events. But if you want to make your own, please go for it. There's a lot of tutorials out there on how to do it. And yeah, they're a lot of fun. So all right, over here now, we're looking at some stuff from Halloween. We got Michael Myers, a bunch of Michael Myers.
Yes, we've got a lot of new stuff coming from both the 2018 Halloween movie and more of the classic Halloween movies. We're going back to Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 to get more stuff to you guys. So you can see the quarter scale Michael Myers, which is going to be coming in the fall.
Right before Christmas.
Right next to him, you can see the clothed Michael Myers, which will be coming timed with Halloween.
Not yet.
Of course.
Of course.
We've previously shown you the Laurie Strode action figure, but now you can see her here in person in all her badassery.
Yeah, this is, again, another one of those killer sculpts that NECA is known for. Let's see if we can get this camera to focus. Yeah. There, oh, I almost had it. I'm just going to back up the camera. It should be a little better now. Yeah, the likeness on this one is another really great one. She refuses to be filmed, so let's take my word for it, but she looks good. I'll put up photos on my Instagram later on. But let's take a look at this other one now. It's Halloween 2, and normal type here. Oh, and Godzilla asking, when will Laurie be available?
That's going to be Q2. I'm guessing within that. We're soliciting by quarters now just to kind of drive home to people that our release dates are really windows. And I know a lot of our retailers pre-sell to the public, but when we solicit to them, it's a guesstimate, and I'm not sure that they really pass that along well to the public. So, soliciting by quarters now. If I had to guess, more towards the end of the quarter.
Okay.
So this is the Halloween 2 figure.
And just a real quick comment on Halloween 2. I swear, I was looking at this head yesterday, and I was like, is that a Donald Trump head with the Halloween figure?
No, actually, the story goes that for the original movie, they got a William Shatner mask and just kind of like modified it slightly.
It's just so weird because like I know it's William Shatner mask, and this one looks like Will, but with that blonde hair, I'm sorry. But all right, let's get back to the figure now. And really cool skull here too, and that pumpkin.
Come with this. Many accessories, of course, but the pièce de résistance in this one, at least, is the pumpkin that opens to reveal the skull.
And here's a look at the figure itself. Like that's definitely Shatner right there. But that hair, that just says no. All right, well, anyway, let's take a look at some of the other Halloween figures. You also have They Live and some cloth. There's just a bunch of stuff down here. There's so much good horror stuff. Before we jump into that, I did see a question. That's from Tac Tac. He wants to know any update on the DC and first Predator and Alien line. I believe
we had originally solicited it for release in retail stores, and we are unfortunately not going to be able to do that. Of all of the figures, the Batman versus Joker Alien is the one that we are trying to release as a convention exclusive this year. Maybe for San Diego, we're not sure if we can get it done in time. Maybe it will be a New York Comic Con exclusive. Maybe it'll be another outlet exclusive. We are desperately trying to get that out this year as a convention exclusive before the license ships over to McFarlane.
Now, we just had a question about the Halloween 3 figures that I think we're looking at right now. Will these be sold separately or as a 3-pack?
These are going to come as a 3-pack. We're not exactly sure on the timing yet, but it'll be a 3-pack. The masks are going to come off so you can see the wormy heads underneath. They'll have their trick-or-treat bags, and it's just a really cool thing that we've been able to go into the older movies at this point.
Now, we've been seeing a lot of stuff from They Live this weekend, and we're getting some from NECA as well, the cloth 8-inch figures, which look great. And we have Nightbreed, and I saw someone in there actually asking about Nightbreed. There we go. Asking if there will be any more Nightbreed figures besides Dr. Decker. So any possibilities of more characters from this particular franchise?
Definitely a possibility of more characters here. With this one, we're kind of testing the waters to see like what the current popularity on Nightbreed still is. It's a personal favorite of ours around the office. And, you know, we really want to kind of put it out there and see like how many other people also feel the same way. And a figure without a likeness is a very good way to test this initially. Because Nightbreed is one of the older movies, which, like a lot of the older movies, no one ever thought that people would want to make figures, toys, from movies, so likeness rights were never included in the contracts. Now it's a question of going back to each individual person who starred in those movies, or their estate in the cases of a lot of, you know, early or unfortunate deaths, and renegotiating that.
We had a question about the TV here. Is that going to play music, or is that just going to be a normal accessory?
Unfortunately, that's going to be a normal accessory, but I think a lot of you out there with a little bit of creativity can figure out how to put a little sound chip in there.
And we're going to look at this ultimate, or rather this Trick or Treat figure, but I saw the question, somebody asking about an ultimate version of Sam from Trick or Treat. Is that something that NECA has considered?
It's possible, but I mean, looking at the figure, you have to agree that it lends itself a little more to a clothed figure, just because of figures that wear, you know, a lot of baggy clothing, like say the nun, you know, from the nun form, and still have the sculpt accuracy. They look better as cloth figures. If we can figure out a way to do it and make it move well and look well, we would do it.
It's beautiful.
Down here is some stuff that's already out on market, so we're going to skip over that. But let's go to the top shelf and look at some stuff from the Guillermo del Toro collection, which I think you guys announced, was it last year at Toy Fair as well? You kind of just announced it now. They're actually starting to come out. And we even got the big reveal very recently about the Amphibian Man from Shape of Water. Oh, and quick question about Trick or Treat. Well, since Sam is small, will he be in the same packaging style as the other figures?
I believe, yes, that he's going to be in the resealable type of clamshell packaging. We have done other small figures, like the Chucky clothed figure, in the same type of resealable clamshell packaging before. We may do added elements with him like we did with Chucky, but we're not exactly sure yet. And, you know, if we go through this and in debugging we find that it just doesn't look good, we could change it to something else. There's, you know, we never say never. We want to do what's best for the figure, ultimately.
Now, on to the Guillermo del Toro stuff. So we have a whole bunch of things from Pan's Labyrinth, as we mentioned. We've got Fawn looking great. I love the detail on this guy here. Ophelia, and look at this little elf fairy down there. But yeah, the Amphibian Man, is this a 2-up or is this the actual full size?
That is a 2-up, you're correct. He will also come with a very detailed base, like all of the Del Toro figures in the line. You know, we've promised to include extra deluxe elements, so he's going to have a very fancy looking base, you know, with the shackle on it. He'll come with extra accessories like a bowl of eggs, and those they weren't nicely painted in time for the show, and unpainted things they don't look very impressive.
Any chance of quarter scale Guillermo del Toro figures?
If Del Toro is up for it, certainly.
I'm sure he is. He loves all things toy-like. So, all right, and just guys, just to let you know, since we're going already almost half an hour, I don't want to keep Summer here all day and lose her voice entirely. So we are going to probably work a little bit faster, get some of the stuff, but we'll still answer your questions as we go. So over here now we have a bunch of Godzilla things from both the new movie and the old. And yeah.
These are the new figures for the King of Monsters movie. We're really excited about them. It's just kind of extraordinary that we've, for the last year, been able to work directly with Toho, and it's streamlined things a lot. They, as a licensor, many of you may or may not know, actually, that WB used to be the master licensor in the United States for Godzilla, which meant that they were kind of the facilitator. I see that question. I'll get there in just a second. And Toho last year decided that they actually wanted to work directly with all of their licensees, so that's when we started it, and it's just been really fantastic to be able to work directly with them, to get all of the same kinds of like detailed feedback that we were getting back from them before, just without any like delay on both sides, any kind of, you know, there can be small misunderstandings when things go through a middleman in any conversation. It's like playing a game of telephone. So it's really been exciting to work with them. You can see the two flying figures are going to have the detailed bases and the prop rods that you see here. The wings are going to have a little bit of limited articulation. You can see like close to the kind of hand on Rodan, there's going to be a little cut for some small articulation there. You've got a little semi-translucent plastic going on here with Mothra, so you can see a bit of the light through the wings. And then the two different versions of Godzilla. Super fun.
Spitting Godzilla and staring at Spitting Godzilla. I love these two variations. All right, let's go ahead and jump on down below. And we have 1962 Godzilla and 1956 Godzilla. Very cool. And before we move on from that, too, we do have two questions about the Godzilla stuff. There we go. Can you make other Toho monsters? And what kind of packaging will Rodan and Mothra be in?
Okay. And I see. All right. So to address the previous Ghidorah question, at the moment we do not have plans to make a Ghidorah figure. In the scale that he is in with the other kaiju in the King of the Monsters movie, he's simply massive. This would be like, to make him in scale and do it well, I'm guesstimating that it would be maybe a $150 retail difference in price. It would just be really expensive, and we're not positive that anyone would go in for that.
That is a lot of money. I mean, I know there's some hardcore Godzilla fans who would do that, but that's not the entire toy market, unfortunately. Packaging
for these is going to be the 5-panel window box style that you see here. So I'll just reach my hand out in front here. So this is the packaging style that we're going to be going with for Godzilla going forward. It's the 5-panel with the opening flap that has the Velcro here. And if you haven't seen the packaging for this yet, we're going retro poster style on all of the stuff. The modern stuff obviously will follow the style guide for the modern movie, but retro stuff, we're going to be doing takes on the movie posters.
Very cool. I really love the look of what you guys did for the 1956 version, too. I'm a big fan of the Godzilla movies, and this is very true to what it's like. Yeah, I love the window boxes, too, Drew. Now let's jump on up, shall we, to Ninja Turtles. It's going to shake for a minute, folks. I got to switch hands. And make some noise with the microphone. So we've got ourselves a quarter-scale Shredder, which was just revealed very recently as well. And here he is unmasked, which is very cool. Trinary 3, he has a question about Kong. Could you do King Kong from this movie?
For the King Kong versus Godzilla movie, no, I'm not sure that we're going to be doing that. Just the crossover licensing is a little difficult. If there were enough demand, we would go into that breach for you guys. We just haven't really seen a lot of people asking for it.
All right, guys, and I'm really up close and personal right now with Shredder just to give you a look at all the details at him. And there's the removable face mask. And right next to him is the quarter-scale Footsoldier. Long anticipated Footsoldier, finally here. And what a beaut these two guys are together. And right below that, we have the Rocksteady and Bebop figures coming out. What can you tell us about these guys, Summer?
Okay, so these are kind of a little tease about what's coming. What you can see displayed behind them are the 2-packs, the cartoon 2-packs that are going to be showing up on Target shelves in the next 2 weeks. And to, at some point, accompany those, we've got a little sneak peek at Rocksteady and Bebop. Some people have asked if that's the actual size that they will be, and I believe it is. They did, after all, start off as humans and then turned into animals, so we're not sure exactly of the release format of that. It will be whether there'll be 2-packs with a Footsoldier for army building, whether there'll be a 2-pack with each other, when and where it's going to come out. We will let you know as soon as possible. And we do plan to continue the 1990 movie line into other characters. It's just the timing that's in question.
Okay. All right, and let's see. We have a few other questions here. We got a bunch of questions about turtle stuff. For the quarter-scale Shredder, will he have a higher MSRP because of the large cape?
Actually, we've already solicited him out to retail, so if you go and look at what people are selling him at, you'll see what the retail price is going to be. We didn't do any higher of a price point on him than the other quarter-scale Turtles figures, because they had a lot of detail as well.
Okay. And any tune, but I guess in this case, either one.
Okay. We're definitely going to be going more into these lines, and we do have more characters planned. I can't say too much more than that, but you should definitely be expecting some more reveals a little closer to the summer.
And everything below that is stuff that's already currently on the market, including the elusive GameStop Ninja Turtles. Well, Summer, since I've got you guys here, I know there's been a lot of problems with people finding these at GameStops. So can you update us on any plans for distribution, or I don't know if you've been hearing any feedback?
So we did hear from some fans that there were a little bit of ordering problems with the website. Some people had their orders canceled. So we reached out to GameStop and we had their web team kind of run down through all of the orders for us. And what it looked like was that because they took pre-orders so early, a lot of people's credit card information or address information had changed. If there were any problems with the verification system, the order got bumped and in some cases canceled. Some cases they asked them for more info, some cases it got canceled. But we reached out to all the people who, directed some questions and complaints at us, and we directed them to a line, a customer care line, where GameStop was making sure that everyone who had put a pre-order in for the website did actually get a chance to replace that. We replenished their stock for the web. They did put them back up for sale on the web for a while. I believe now you can only get them on their website as a pack of 4. They also have additional inventory for in stores, which is coming in a couple of waves being set into stores. And they've placed an additional order.
eBay and buy that stuff from the scalpers. And a few also international fans just asking if there's any chance for these turtles to come to the UK. Since these are only US exclusive, is that correct?
Yes, it is, and I'm glad that they asked that question because I might have neglected to address it. But our original end game with working with Viacom from the very beginning has been to get our foot in the door first, take the license that they were willing to give us at the time, and then slowly, through persistence and constant contact, wear them down over time. I make it sound, like weird, but it's not. It's just we wanted to get our foot in the door and then, do our best to prove to them that we had the ability to do well with the license, and we had the fan base, and we knew the fan base enough that these would sell very well to convince them to start relaxing the license for us. And you can see that they have actually started to do that. When we first got the license, it was quarter scale in retail, 7-inch only at a convention, and not many people knew, but only under a certain quantity level. We were restricted even in quantity for conventions on the 7-inch scales. They have been very pleased with the results that we've been giving them, and so they've opened that up. Now you can see that we've got these 2-packs going into Target, which is something in the beginning they would never have allowed us to do. We had the 7-inch figures going into GameStop, ditto for that. And, you know, our ultimate goal, there are some people who say, oh, Australia has it, but that wasn't us, actually. We didn't get an Australia license. There was a distributor in Australia who went directly to Viacom and hammered out a legal deal to be able to import these.
So there you go. That's your answer about international toidles. We're in New York, so we call them toidles. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to... we have a question about the older Godzilla releases. Are those going to be re-released?
Some of them, yes, they are. We've done some releases of them already. Some re-releases, and we're going to plan to, the ones that are in the highest demand, we plan to keep re-releasing those.
All right. So we're going to go and move on to another row now. Let's go look at some more horror figures down here. So you have a whole other shelf we didn't get to yet, and we're greeted by this lovely Pennywise. And this also another great one here. We saw this yesterday, the accessory set. That is easily the creepiest thing I've seen all Toy Fair. But then again, I say that, but then I turn over here and I see these guys. But yeah, we'll get to those. But this accessory set is brilliantly, hideously scary, and I love it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And any people out there who have a little bit of tenacity and know-how, you can get in there and replace that head with a different head. I'm not sure that you'll be able to put that head on one of the It figures. It may not be sculpted with that kind of peg interchangeability down there. But you would at least be able to, yes, the 2014 Godzilla. Well, no, you would think that was a mold that was retired, but actually we've done a lot of restocks for that. At several points you've been able to find it in Target.
So we have now quarter scale Pennywise. We'll give you guys a quick look at that. And that's about as much as I want to look at that because it's really scary. But this whole row is just nightmare fuel here. This is the... Well, this is not... Okay, the cloth one is over there. That's what we're looking at with that sign.
Actually put this out. It's not going to be coming until a little closer to the summer, but it's super creepy. This is the one that has the Deadlight's head that has the LED light in the back of it.
Very cool. And down here we also have some stuff. There's the cloth nun we mentioned. We have... Now, what is this one from the Conjuring universe? I don't know if that one was here when I was here yesterday.
It was, but I think it flew under the radar for a lot of people.
It somehow just blended in.
And I don't know how. Look at that guy. He's ultra creepy. We were really surprised with the success of the pre-orders for the non-clothed figure, and so we went back to the licensor to get a little bit more license action. So we're showing just a tease right here, but later this year you'll see more coming for us in terms of all plastic figures for the Conjuring universe of movies.
Interesting.
I think actually James Wan retweeted earlier today. He was very excited about the news that these were coming.
And I'm pretty excited about these guys over here. This is a new debut as well, the Toony Terrors. So these are like cartoon-style versions of some of the most favoritist scary monsters out there. We've got two Pennywises, Modern and Tim Curry, and a Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. What can you tell us about these figures?
This is a brand new line for us, and there's a lot of people in the office at this point who have their own kids, and they're kind of thinking like, more like youth-oriented. Not that these are necessarily going to be age-graded for kids, but like they're thinking in the kid mindset now. And one of the things that came up from some of those ideas is like, what if all of the best villains were Saturday morning cartoons? So this is kind of also an experiment, not just design, but in lower price point figures. So these will have a retail price of $14.99. They're going to be like your classic, simple style, limited articulation, fun kind of figures. They won't come with the backdrops. Those are just for display in the booth. But it would be fairly simple to kind of find one of those printed out, use some rubber glue to put that on a piece of foam core. Boom.
And we had two requests, Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry 5, Any chance of NECA picking up those licenses for figures?
I believe Randy has said no on that relatively recently, so I feel confident in going with a no for that answer.
So that's a no. Sorry, guys. Down here, we've got some Friday the 13th figures, a bunch of new ones here, and some more Pennywises. Tim Curry, Pennywise. Wow.
Yes, this is a new Ultimate version of the miniseries Pennywise. We've got 3 new heads, all new hands, new accessories. We've got the book with the hands coming out of it here. Super creepy. The balloon, and then a more Tim Curry-centric packaging, which you can see in the back. Wellhouse Pennywise we've shown you before, but next to him you'll see our first likeness figure for the Roy Burns from Friday the 13th Part 5.
Yeah, we're getting a little obscure now with the Friday the 13th stuff, but it's looking really nice. And this, for you guys who don't know, Friday the 13th Part 5 did not have Jason Voorhees in it. It had this dude instead. And we also have Ultimate Jason. Cryo Boy, we already looked at Predators, so you'll have to go ahead and rewind the stream to see those. And over here we have Gremlins. I think those we've seen before, correct? Okay.
Yeah, those have all been previously seen. The GameStop Gremlin they've set a street date of, I believe, May the 1st or 2nd on that. So it'll be coming very soon.
All right. Now we're just about done with the figures. We're going to go ahead and head over to one more area. I think that'll probably be it for us. It's been a very long stream, but thank you all for watching with us today.
So right over here, we have a little bit of new video game stuff. You can see coming soon. No hard dates for those yet. And then next to him, you can see the Spyro that is coming out very shortly, later this month or earlier the next month. And then below, in addition to all of our previously released Crash figures, you can see the one brand new one for the show, which is the Deluxe Crash with the Aku mask. He's going to come with 3 brand new heads. All of them are going to have ball-jointed eyebrows. And then the goal that we're trying to engineer right now is for the Aku mask to be able to fit onto the end of his nose.
Nice.
It's going to be a tough one, but we're getting there.
Very cool. And down here we've got some God of War figures, which are currently already available. And now over here, this is again also stuff that's already available. The Terminator 2 Kenner style figures. I actually have all 3 of them. We're going to review them at some point on the website. And they're all amazing figures. And again, here is the Street Scene Diorama, which came out last year at San Diego Comic-Con. However, I see that there's a Q1 2019 date. Is there going to be a wider release for this guy?
Oh, this is actually the generic version of the San Diego Comic-Con Diorama. So the one that we put out at Comic-Con was more geared towards the movie. It had a much dirtier, kind of street grungy paint deco. It had decals on it that were specific to the movie, and the backdrop that was at the top was city specific to the location of the movie. This one, which we said at the time we were going to do for retail, is much cleaner paint deco, so you can adapt it to your liking, to any kind of display purpose. No decals on it, more generic city backdrop, so you can really use it for anything. And if you go in here, you can see a little bit of shadowing in the around the bricks here. We've left that deliberately out just to show that there's some limited modularity here. So you can kind of decide where you want the door to go, where you want the windows to go. They are a bit movable.
We have a bunch of questions. People are asking for more of these. They want to see more Terminator 2 figures in the Kenner style. Any chance of that?
Yes. We definitely have not just Kenner style stuff planned, but we have more regular figures from the Terminator franchise coming. That's something that we're going to be continuing to work in. I know that someone asked a little further back also about RoboCop stuff. We don't have anything new to reveal about RoboCop right now. Maybe in the future, but nothing eminently in the works.
Yeah, there you go. And I saw there's a few comments about the video quality. Unfortunately, I have no control over that because we're dealing with the Javits Center Wi-Fi. I've already killed my data plan here yesterday. So we're just dealing with the Javits Wi-Fi. So however it looks right now streaming, I apologize, but we're live, folks. So we also have one question I saw about Dylan from Predator. Any chance we might get a Carl Weathers figure?
As all fans know, This is a very long, ongoing debate with Carl Weathers. We've been back and forth, yet to come to any kind of concrete agreement with him, but you know the NECA modus operandi. It's slow persuasion over time. If we have something set in our sights, you know, we'll politely accept your no and then be like, I respect your answer. Can I call you again next month?
All right, so there you go, guys. That's our look at the NECA booth, our second look at the NECA booth, rather. We've been here yesterday. We were checking out everything. Today we got our guided tour with Summer. Summer, thank you so much for helping us out today. There she is. She's awesome. And we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to wrap it up right here with our look at the Gremlins figures because they're all lined up. They're going to now watch you watching us. Enjoy. So once again, make sure to subscribe to the channel to get updated when we go live again. Follow us on Instagram at Nerd News Today. We're going to be posting some photos of this booth and other places we've been to at Toy Fair. And again, I appreciate you guys watching and bearing with the video quality as well. I know it's tough here. We're dealing with some Wi-Fi that's not very good, but my goal here is just to bring you guys all this stuff as fast as I can. So appreciate you watching here and being here. So we'll see you guys next. Not sure where we're going to go next. Actually, we might be headed to Bondi. We'll see if we can go live there.